Recording has started.
Hello and good evening. Very warm welcome to you all on the third day of Executive Development Program, which is 10th batch in the series. My sincere gratitude to ICAI President and all leaders of ICAI. We at Committee for Members in Industry and Business have been continuing with this initiative since the month of April, and we had sessions wherein speakers from all around the world had shared knowledge with you all. We are very happy to note your positive feedback and the difference it has been making in your lives. And we request you to please be here live and also encourage your friends who may not be benefiting from this. We want to ensure that the things which are extremely important in the early years of our career is dealt with in such a way that our doubts are cleared and we have wisdom with us to move ahead on our journey positively. The Committee for Members in Industry and Business have been trying hard with all these initiatives and will continue with these kind of initiatives so that the continuous difference can be made in our lives. Mr. G. Ranganathan, the committee secretary, is present here today, and we have three speakers for the day, starting with C.A. Manu Nair, who will be talking on the leadership, then C.A. Taira Nazim talking on effective presentations, and we have C. Arvind Dakshan, who will be talking on the public speaking. So today the focus is on leadership and communication. That's the focus of the day. And without further ado, let me introduce C.A. Manu Nair, and then we will listen to him. C.A. Manu is the CEO of Emirates Chartered Accountants Group. He's a passionate entrepreneur and a chartered accountant from our institute and management accountant by profession, and he has completed IFRS certification from ICAW, having more than 20 years of extensive experience and exposure in the fields of finance, accounts, audit, taxation, and management consultancy. After 8 years of experience in industry and in audit firms in India, he started his career in the year 2003, where he worked with Junaid Group of companies as Group Financial Controller for 3 years. In the year 2005, under his leadership, a team of finance professionals started a chartered accountant firm called Emirates Chartered Accountants. C.A. Manu Nair, the CEO of Emirates Chartered Accountant Groups, is a tax expert and has conducted more than 100 batch seminars and training sessions across UAE. He has been invited for live talk shows on air on BAT in the UAE in different radio channels, and has also been interviewed in different TV channels on the same subject. He is currently also holding honorary position of Vice Chairman at Customs and Trade Facilitation Commission as part of International Chamber of Commerce UAE. He is an executive member at our chapter in Dubai, which is the largest overseas chapter of ICAI. He is a board member in the tax committee of IEC Net. He is a steering committee member of the Indian Business and Professional Council Audit and Advisory Group. He is a board member at Association of International Tax Consultants. C.A. Manu had started the initiative of conducting the blood donation camp in his firm on July 1st, which has been continuing since more than a decade. He is giving free awareness sessions on VAT tax, ESR, AML, UBO sessions to business owners and accountants community. Thank you so much, Manu. Thank you for being here with us today. Your contribution in ICAI, whether it be VAT initiatives or serving in the board of a chapter or as a volunteer or for so many things, has always been exceptional. Your contribution, as I read in the profile, to the entire business community has been exceptional, and today, and also to the students. Today, you will be speaking to young members who have qualified in the last 1 to 5 years time, and I'm sure that all our members will greatly benefit from what you have to share on leadership. So thank you. Sincere gratitude for all what you do, and also the blood donation initiative, because donating blood is also very close to me. And with this, we keenly look forward to your session. And I request all our members to please give a big virtual round of applause to Manu. And Manu, the screen is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CA Pradeep Singh. So that was a wonderful introduction, and thank you so much. And it took a lot of time, of course, but I didn't expect such a detailed introduction for me. First of all, thank you so much to Mr. Ranganathan for arranging this, organizing and initiative for this one, and Prabhu Singh, and then the committee, the entire committee for this one, and giving me an opportunity for speaking our young bloods, speaking to the young bloods. They are leaders already. They have proved that they are leaders, and definitely they will be holding different leadership positions in their own practice, or maybe in the corporate sector, or even in the social life. So today, let us learn a little bit. We have only 25 minutes to speak or talk or discuss on a topic, CAs in leadership. So let me share my screen first. Pradiji, am I audible? My voice is clear?
Yes, it's perfect. Perfect.
Yes, it is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you. Sharing the screen. I'm facing some difficulty in sharing the screen. It was checked earlier. Yeah, now it's coming up. Pradiji, it is clear, or?
Yes, it's coming, I think. No, it again went back. If you can. It was coming, but.
Yeah. Bear with me. Still the same issue?
Yeah, still the screen is blue. It shouldn't have happened. I do not know. Yeah, now it's fine.
Now it's fine. Okay. Yeah. Sorry for that inconvenience. Yeah. This again, I don't want to show my profile again. Yeah. So, dear young leaders, today's topic is CAs in leadership. That what we are going to discuss in next 25 minutes. So we have only 20 more minutes to talk on this topic. Let us meet some leaders, virtually of course, and let us see what are common characteristics of a good leader. Then identify the leadership qualities in you, and then how to climb the leadership ladder. So these are the area, and next 20 minutes we are going to discuss. Who's a leader? Let us see some leaders first. Leaders specifically from corporate sector. There are different kinds of leaders, of course. If we say leader means immediately political people, political personalities come in mind. But someone whom I'm referring is, the screen is visible. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Someone said this one. Who's that? He is known to work 80 to 120 hours per week. His net worth is 187 billion. A South African born American entrepreneur and a businessman. You might have got who is he by now, and then other points, co-founder of PayPal or any other founder of SpaceX, and just additional information. Of course, he is none other than Elon Musk. I wanted to mention him first. Another personality. Take a stand. Be known for your courage and confidence. Consistently ranked among the world's 100 most powerful women. Yes, of course, she is a woman. She serves on the boards of Amazon, International Cricket Council, Philips, etc. And of course, you might have got a little idea who's she. She is Indra Nooyi. So see here, these are some of the personalities I thought of, some of the leaders in corporate world to present or mention in front of you to begin with. But let us see some of the CAs in leadership. So there are many CAs. I am going to mention only 3 persons. Then you may say, why I brought these people on the screen, but there are many people similar to or even better than them. But I categorized the leadership into 3. One is for the social leadership, the CAs in social leadership, then CAs in corporate leadership, and CAs in entrepreneurial leadership. See here a personality, a politician and cabinet minister, current cabinet minister. You know who is he? Of course, CA Piyush Goyal. A social leader. And now, another leader who is a young entrepreneur. Harsh Patel. And then I would like to introduce another young leader. She is in a corporate leader, Divya. So these are some of the leaders I wanted to show in front of you, and there are n number of leaders with a different caliber and different skill and reached in many heights. Friends, today I wanted to have a interactive session, but unfortunately that is not possible. So, but I would like to ask you, what are the qualities of a leader? What do you see? What are the qualities of a leader? What are the qualities you expect from a leader? This is normally an interactive session I start, but here I'm not going for that one, but you can think, what are the qualities in a leader you expect? Just I'm giving 5 seconds to 6 seconds for you to note down. Then we will move. I have another category of questionnaire. Let us see who are you or who am I. Yourself, you find out from this questionnaire. There are 2 people, whether you are X or you are Y. You stands for X or you stand for Y. First thing, let us see their characteristics. X looks for holidays as a relief in UAE next. It's a long weekend coming, 3 days are holidays in this weekend. whether your X looks for a holiday as a relief, or Y, he looks holidays for strengthening his skill. X waits for the right time to work. At the same time, Y grabs the opportunity whenever it's seen. Now X aims for his promotion in the company. At the same time, Y aims for the promotion of the company business. He dreams his plan, who X. Mr. Y plans his dreams. He knows on thinking without starting, Mr. X, and Y starts without wasting time. X thinks money is everything, and for Y, time is everything, and X works hard, whereas Y works smart. X, he falls under specific job category. He is always keen about his job, and whereas Y creates his own profile. Wherever he works, or whether it is any corporate or any new environment he goes, he creates his own profile over a period of time. He blames others and he corrects himself. Y corrects himself and he breaks after failure, and Y wakes up after failure. He needs a push to do new things, who X needs. At the same time, the other person, he is self-motivated to test new things. Now you decide from this whether you are X or you are Y. If you are X, you are a follower, whereas if you are Y, you are a leader. So think of it and which category you are into, X or Y. An acid test on nature of your career. It will help you to easily understand in which direction you are going. Are you able to sacrifice your time and money for building your dream? Or are you worried about your monthly package? Are you working in a company with an intention to build a brand? Or are you working in a company with an intention of acquiring a permanent position? Do you add opinion to the instructions given to you, or do you nod your head and follow the instructions blindly? If answer for this A category is yes, you are a leader, and if your answer for these questions is yes in B category, you are a follower. Dear young leaders, I'm sure all the members attending the session, even though I can't reach them, but I can see the power in you. I can feel the power in you. You all are leaders. You are proved that you are leader. That's why you are a qualified chartered accountant and young leaders. You may be choosing any of the platform, like maybe the corporate leadership, or maybe entrepreneur leadership, or even social leadership. It's our responsibility to be in social responsibility, social roles. So even any of this, you are a leader. Choose it and then choose your path the right way and on right time, and then be a well-known leader to hold the power of ICAI. Dears, let us see what are some of the characteristics of a good leader. This is my third part of presentation, and one more part is so my target time is 6:30. So by that time I'll be maybe 5 minutes extra I may take, depends upon the discussion goes. Key characteristics of a good leader. There are 7 key characteristics of a leader. positive attitude and outlook. Why I'm discussing, even then it's easy, it's knowledge or this kind of information is easy to get from online and just prepare PPT and then present in front of anyone. It's easy, but I'm talking this one from my personal experience. I came in UAE in the year 2003, just after completing my CA. It was very new environment for me, and I tried my best to get a good job. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good job in beginning, and at that time the labor law and the immigration regulations and everything was very strict in UAE comparing to the present scenario. So I got a small job, with a small job in the sense very less salary, which was not sufficient for me to build a career. Not only in the salary and then exposure wise also. So in 2 years, I thought in 2003 I came and 2005 I started my own career. Normally any practice, especially we are outside India, then normally the practice will take time for people to start because they want to get familiarity with the industries and then the connectivity with the business people and experience in that respective field. And also I didn't wait much. In 2 years, I believed, I had the confidence in me and a group of 4 people, my friends. We started a practice that is Emirates Chartered Accountants Group. So based on that experience I'm talking, the positive attitude, I was sure that I don't want to wait for 10 years to get experience to do something. Even the time we can crash down the timeline, even as Robin Sharma used to say, the great corporate guru Robin Sharma says, we need not to wait to be very old to get experience. We can crash down the timeline. So that's what we have to do and get the exposure in short period of time and explore the opportunities. So self-confidence, believe in yourself and ability to create a vision for the future. UAE is one of the best places in the world to see the opportunities or see the visionary leaders here. Yeah, they don't plan for next year. They don't plan. They normally budget for 5 years, 10 years, and even the reason the 5 years budget came. And you see, and UAE is planning for next 100 years. And UAE is going to complete 50 years of independence in this year, next month. By end of December. 50 years we are completing, and then the budget or the plan is, the vision is for next 50 years, the 100 years of UAE. Which country is doing like that? So this is a place where we also get motivated to look in the long vision. To even as a company, when I started in 2005, I made that was a starting off with. In 2010, I done a 10 years budget, and even 2020, I made another 10 years budget. Normally, and even very, very happy to say that in 2010, when I made a budget or the vision, I made a target to achieve in 2020. We are able to achieve. We achieved it in 2020. So that's a confidence we have in this market as well. Of course, this is not in the UAE only, not in Dubai only. Of course, wherever for a chartered accountant to practice or even the corporate leaders, opportunities are a lot. Of course, in India also a lot of opportunities. So you can plan your future. And that's a confidence you have to make it to happen. Ability to motivate people. There's nothing. It's only a teamwork. Even my example is it's a teamwork. It's 4 partners, and then that partner, then we extend it to next levels of managers or whatever name we call. Lead without a title. That is what we normally follow, and the title doesn't matter. And it's a collective effort of the team. So that choose the team on right way. Means choose on the right people. Then your 50% of the problems are solved. And then decision making. Take the decision on time. That is a skill of a right leader or good leader. Because if you are not able to take a decision, you know the answer or you know what to do, but if you don't move ahead, if you don't take a decision immediately, then he cannot rule, or he cannot move ahead. He is not a good leader. That is one of the important character for a good leader. And ability to manage the performance, of course, and then emotional intelligence. Of course, emotional intelligence at workplaces very, very important, because we have to your behavioral attitude matters a lot. How you behave as a leader, as a senior, as a role model, your behavior matters a lot among the team. And being a leader, and many leaders are there in your industry or your community or in your circle, and survival of the fittest works out always. It is not the strongest species that survives. It is not the most intelligent species that survives, but it is one most responsive to change survives. The same way, whether it's in industry or in social responsibility or in the entrepreneur sector, who is the fittest for that moment, for that sector, will survive. Never give up. It is the heart of survival. Keep trying, never give up. And members, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more and become more, you are a leader. So inspire others. Your actions should speak, not your words. Just to conclude the last part, which I would like to discuss with you. Even I remember my teacher, Nagarajan. I studied in Chennai for accountancy. At that time, he has given, I was a beginner at that time, and he said, CAs, normally the CAs work a lot. They prepare the report, and the MBAs take that and do the presentation. We are not good in presentation. So the reason is that we don't have that presentation skill when comparing with management graduates. We don't have that much opportunities, even or we don't have that much regular training earlier. But IC is having a lot of programs now, and it is giving a lot of exposure to the members and then students for brushing up their skills and then developing their soft skills. But what I'm going to say is that market yourself. You may not like this word, market yourself, because chartered accountants are never taught for it. Marketing yourself is very much required. Let me tell you, there are some myths people have about promoting themselves. Self-promotion is a showing off, people believe. And my work should speak for itself, not I should do the marketing for it. Or my boss will give credit for my work, that people wait for it, but your boss may not get time for it. Don't think of this too much. What I'm saying is, promote yourself. That is very much important as a young, qualified chartered accountant. You should promote yourself. What are the ways of promoting yourself? Be visible in meetings, like, see how different this bulb is. Show the light. Be like this in every meeting. Grab every opportunity to make presentations. You get an opportunity, do use those opportunities. Even in corporate world or in the practice and all, we always grab the opportunities to do the presentations and become an expert in your field. Technical knowledge, subject knowledge is very important, because just having a marketing without knowing the depth on the subject will not be will not give you anything, because at last you will be laughed by people. So subject knowledge is very important. Choose any line and be expert on that line. Make the most of networking opportunities. Even ICA is having a lot of networking opportunities like interactive sessions, technical sessions, social events. So other than that, a lot of networking opportunities also we have, and then please use the opportunities to write blogs, write newsletters, and even the latest, you upload your videos of sharing the knowledge, not something marketing tools. It is sharing the knowledge. You upload your videos. It will help you a lot in long run. And be active in industry associations, even in wherever you are, in which part of the world you are. Now many things are virtual, so you can be part of any industry associations anywhere in the world, whichever required for you. Choose it and do promote yourself. Do promote yourself. No one will do for you. May the path you walk be on the rightest. And members, may success cling to you all your life. Cheers. I wish you all the very best. Would like to meet you all physically. Hope soon it will happen. Now, as of now, this from my part. If anything is there, we can have any other discussion. Otherwise, I'm handing over to Mr. C.A. Pradeep.
Thank you. Many thanks, Manu. I now request Mr. Ranganathan to please propose a vote of thanks. Mr. Ranganathan? Looks like. So, Manu, a very effective presentation on leadership and very inspiring. I think inspiration makes a big difference, and your story is also very inspiring. I have been watching this story since I came to Dubai in 2007. And the encouragement which you have given to our members is exceptional. Arvind is our speaker, last speaker of the day, and he has also closely worked with you, and he will agree to what I have just said. And we thank you once again for all your support which you have given and taken out time to share with our young members. And we look forward to see you sometime soon again. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Ranganathan, would you like to, sir, say anything?
Yeah. Audible? I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but in fact, the chairman called up for something, so therefore I missed the last part. But it's a very wonderful session. You had brought about the 7 characteristics of the leaders, and then I would say the takeaway is that the leader is one who inspires. And then finally the tips on promoting oneself was very, very thought-provoking. Wonderful session, sir. Thank you so very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks, Manu. Now we move on to our second session of the day, which will be taken by C.A. Taira Nazim. Thank you, Taira, for being here with us today. Taira is based in Dubai, UAE. She is a fellow chartered accountant from our institute with 20 plus years of experience in the fields of financial management, accounting, reporting, auditing, taxation, and systems implementations. She has worked with diverse businesses such as multinational banks, construction, real estate, hospitality, and education, covering wider and mixed roles. Her experience spans from setting up of finance department, regulatory reporting, systems implementation, to acquisition and divestitures of businesses. Her last assignment as AVP with Bank of America Merrill Lynch won her global recognition for implementation of SAP Concur, D&D management system, Ariba procurement management, and Oracle financials in the MENA region. As an eager learner, she is always on the out to grasp new things, the latest in VAT and Arabic language. Her interest includes yoga and swimming. Thank you so much, Tyra, for being here with us today. Your experience, I'm sure, will make a big difference to our members in this topic of effective presentations, and Manu also touched upon this slightly. We thank you for all the support which you lend to the ICI initiatives, and particularly VAT, which has been very significant over the past 3-4 years. And I'm keenly looking forward to what you have to share on effective presentations today. And I request all our young members to please give a big virtual round of applause to Tahira. And Tahira, the screen is yours. Thank you. Sorry, Tahira, there was some disturbance and I had to mute you. Now I think you can check.
Sorry. Thank you very much, Pradeep, for the warm introduction. I express my gratitude to the Institute and the committee members for giving me this opportunity. A very, very powerful presentation by ICA Manu. Yes, we are all leaders in some way, and we have to survive, and the whole world is now the survival of the fittest. So let us just, before we go on to this presentation, I would just request you all to quickly just, when there are times when you are called up in your office, or let us say you are in front of a gathering and just people just request you, okay, can you come along and just speak something or give a presentation to the team or introduce, or it's just a one-to-one meeting with someone and you are asked to do present yourself, right? Introduce yourself. So what are the 3 things which comes to you when you are asked to speak? Can you just write down I'll just give you 20 seconds, just the 3 key top things which comes to your head when you are asked to do any sort of presentation, whether it is for yourself, whether it is in your office, or whether it is in front of any sort of gathering. Okay, let's move on. We'll come back to this once we end the session. We'll come back to these 3 points. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Tahira, it's visible.
Okay, so we begin with the 5 W's of the presentation. Why we give presentation, to whom we are giving the presentation, what is the presentation all about, where are we delivering the presentation, and when are we delivering. So when you start with any presentation, and if you keep these 5 W's in your head, it becomes very easy for you to make an effective presentation. Now let us see why you want to give a presentation, why it is so important to understand why you are standing in front of an audience and why you are giving this presentation. Why does your audience attend? You have to step into the shoes of your audience and look what they are asking for, why they are coming to you, why they are coming to listen to you, right? Once that is clear, why should they listen to you? Do you have any authority over the subject, right? Why should they listen to you? Why do they listen now? The timing is also very important. Is there something which is very urgent, which needs to be resolved? If you are working in an organization, if it is for some decision-making purpose, how important is that decision? Or, for example, if there is a new taxation law which is coming into the country, you want to learn about it. So it becomes very important. So why should the audience listen to you now? The purpose answers the question why I'm giving the presentation, right? Now, presentations have basically, all the presentations, if you see, they have basic 3 purposes. The first purpose is to communicate the information. So while you are designing or structuring your presentation, you have to identify, where does my presentation fall? Am I just going to communicate the information? Then it is based on factual presentations, right? As finance professionals, we fall into this area many times, right? When we are presenting the financials to the management, our monthly financial reportings, or whether as an auditor, we are presenting our audit reports. So most of our presentations fall into the communication of information. The next is to present an idea or a proposition, right? In such sort of presentations, there will be arguments and judgments. And these presentations are basically designed to persuade and win the support of the audience, right? An example for this can be you are pitching to the investors for funding, for example, right? So for example, say you are trying to launch a product and you want the audience to subscribe to your services or buy your services. So these type of presentations are basically designed to persuade and win the support of your audience. The next one is to just motivate, motivate and inspire the audience. Like, for example, my friend said about Robin Sharma, or you are listening to Gaur Gopal Dasji. What do? They are reflecting and reinforcing the audience feelings. So their presentations are designed to encourage the audience to take some action, right? They want you to, they are inspiring you and they want you to take some action. So basically your presentations fall in one of these, and the design of your presentation will depend on what you are trying to communicate through your presentation. Now let's move on to who. Who is your audience, right? That is the very important question to answer. Who is your audience? What levels of the organization are present in your presentation, are going to be your audience? Let us say, for example, again, you are a member of your finance and accounting department, and your company is deciding on to digitalize the department, right? Digitalization of the whole accounting and finance department. You have been made responsible to prepare the presentations, right? There can be two scenarios here. There are two audiences, two types of audiences. One audience is your high-level management, and the other level is your own finance and accounting department. So when you are making presentation for the management and when you're making the presentation for your team, it will be very different. How? Because the management level will be looking at high-level details in the presentation. They will be looking into what range of solutions are you going to provide? What will be the cost of the digitalization for the organization as the whole? What will be the return on investment? What will be the ROI of that project, right? And when you go to your team, are they interested in these things? No. They are interested to know how the whole digitalization will work for your department, right? At the same time, you will have to convince them that this process or digitalization will not only help the organization, but it will help you save the time of the team. It will make the team more efficient, right? So, and there will be definitely, in such type of scenarios, there will be fear in your own department, like, okay, digitalization is happening, so maybe my job is under trouble, right? So you have to prepare a presentation such that you make your team comfortable with the whole project and whole idea. So in both the topic is same. The topic is same: finance and accounting department digitalization. But your audience determines your content. Both the presentation will be very different, right? So who are the decision makers? What are you presenting to them? Are they the decision makers? You have to see how well informed is the audience about the subject matter. Again, you have to see whether whether people understand what is digitalization, what is digitization, how are you going to automate the same things, how well informed is the audience, right? How interested are they? And how many people are you going to present, right? So your who is your audience, can be one-to-one, it can be two people, it can be even a job interview where you have face-to-face meeting with some people, or it is your team meeting where you're presenting it to the team, or it can be to a wider audience, right? Now let us come to what. Now you know who you are presenting to and why you are presenting. Now what are you going to present to them? Determine your who and your why determines your what. So you have to adapt the content and the language usage to the level of the audience and take it. Yeah. So your purpose and your audience will define your content, right? Why and who will determine your whole what, right? And it will also help you in designing not only the content, deciding on the content, but also how you will deliver and how you will structure your presentation. Now again, we shall just take a step back and just go again into the shoes of our chartered accountant and finance profession. Let us just see what are the biggest concerns or worries, in a finance and accounting department. What are the things we day in and day out look at? What are the biggest concerns? Now, what are the biggest challenges in those areas? Let us take, for example, we have issues in collections, sales collections. We have a high percentage of aged receivables, right? This is the biggest concern, right? This is a big, and what are the challenges in those areas? What are the challenges? What are the problems they are causing? A high aged collection, what is it? What problems they are causing? They can cause cash flow troubles. They can cause bad debts, many things, right? What is the ideal outcome? What do you want? Finally, you want the aged receivables to go down, right? That is the ideal outcome. And what would that outcome do? It will make your cash flows much more easier, right? It will help you manage your cash flows. So think in these questions, try to get down the answers to these questions. Once you get down these questions and get down the answers, your presentation, what you do, you're making the presentation will become very, very easy for you. Let us just again go back to the same example. See what is the pain? Where is the pain? Where is the pain in that organization? Where is the pain which I'm presenting, right? So here we found the pain that there is a high percentage of aged receivables. Why? I want to bring it down. I want to bring down my aged receivables, percentage of receivables, right? Now how can I do it? I have to provide some solutions to my management. What solutions do I provide? So here I'm saying, okay, we are just giving the options to our customers to pay through the traditional channels, right? Through cash, check, bank transfers, and all those things. I'm saying go ahead, take a step ahead, provide them with a range of payment methods, right? So I'm bringing them from the pain position to a gain position. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to show how providing a range of payment options, whether through online payments or mobile payments or automatic payments, we can accelerate the collections and effectively reduce the aged receivables and improve the cash flows. So this slide, if you are seeing this slide, you are taking the audience from a pain to gain situation. Always try to think what presentation I'm doing. What is the pain here? What is the pain point for my audience? What is the pain point? And what solutions I'm providing to them? What and how can they gain from it? All right? Now, the where becomes very easy nowadays. It is where you will present face-to-face in a boardroom or a conference room, or you are presenting through a conference call like we are doing it right now. Again, when we are physical and when there are face-to-face meetings, there are a lot of arrangements to be made. So ensure that all the arrangements are made and everything is up to date before the meeting time. Now, when do you present? Again, it is very crucial to understand when are you presenting the presentation. It happens many times, like we have seen in our own full day seminars and things, the physical seminars, like after the lunch, the audience generally doze off or just start feeling, just closing their eyes. So if you are one of the speakers after the lunch, make sure that you bring in some punching lines, some jokes or some questions to keep the audience engaged, right? So the timing becomes important to know for you that when are you going to give your presentation. Now, before diving into, the professional presentations which we do on a professional basis, I would like to touch something on your personal presentation. Many times it happens like we meet somebody whom we really wanted to meet. He's from a certain company where we really wanted to work. We want to join that company. And when we meet that person, we don't come up with the right words to say. Or let us say, for example, you are in a job interview and the questioner is, tell us something about yourself. And you just go, oh, what should I say? What should I say? So in these situations, how do we do it? How do we make ourselves up to date with it? My trick, it works, is to go for an elevator pitch. Prepare an elevator pitch for yourself. What is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is nothing but a brief, very persuasive speech that sparks interest either in yourself or in your organization, right? Then you can use to create this and create interest in your product or a project or in yourself. And a good elevator pitch is something which is very short, just 20 to 30 seconds, just no longer than a ride in your elevator. When I do physical trainings for effective presentation, I normally tell my students to just take the card, your visiting card or something, and stick it to that. Your elevator pitch should be there, and it should always be in your pocket. So whenever you are just traveling or read, just remind yourself what I have to say. Now, I'll just go through the tricks of how to do this elevator pitch for yourself. What goes into the elevator pitch? Who you are. Write one sentence about yourself, who you are. Okay? What do you offer? What do you offer? What problems do you solve? Right? How are you different? What sets you apart? What is your unique brand? What is your uniqueness? Right? What is unique about you? And ask a question. Explain what you want. When you're meeting someone and you're saying, okay, I am blah, blah, blah. I have done this, and I'm good in taxation. Okay, the person hears you and says, okay, that's good. That's good to know. But what do you want from that person, right? I'm following your company. I love to work with your company. So ask question, explain what you want, right? And call to action. Close with a call to action. Can I have your email ID, or can I have your card, or can I have your phone number to connect with you, or can I connect with you on LinkedIn? So have a call to action. Just don't leave it there. Many people, they say, okay, I'm this, I work here, and here. And that's the end of the conversation. And then when the person goes, you think, oh, I wanted to say this to him. I wanted to ask him whether I can work in his company, whether there are openings in his company. The time is lost. So prepare yourself. Prepare your elevator pitch. Keep it ready. Always keep it in your pocket. Keep it ready. Now, when we say what sets you apart, what sets you apart? It is your unique brand statement, right? When we read fresh, hot pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free, what comes to your mind? What comes to your mind? Which brand comes to your mind, right? It is Domino's Pizza, right? Then when you hear, okay, it is Desh Ki Nayi Dukaan, what is it? Reliance JioMart. So what is unique about you? What is unique about you? I have put my USP as your partner in growth, right? So you come up with what do you do well? What do you do well? Are you good in taxation? Are you good at auditing? Are you good, very good Excel skills and Power BI skills? What do you have? What is your uniqueness? What do you bring to the table? And what does the client want? Try to find that unique brand statement for yourself. Ask yourself questions. What are you best at? Who do you serve? What makes you unique, right? And create your own brand statement for yourself. I just give you a sample elevator pitch like, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a chartered accountant and currently working at such and such place. I'm interested in whatever field you are interested in if you are specific about an industry, if you want to be in the hotel industry, if you want to be in a shipping industry, whichever industry, if you want to be in consulting space, say that. I have been doing this course in Power BI, which has given me skills to, make beautiful or make insightful dashboards, which came in handy at my work which I did at which company you can mention. Is it possible to tell me more about your company? Ask, make an ask, and then take it from here. Always have this elevator pitch ready in your pocket so that it comes in handy whenever you want to speak. Now, going on to the professional presentations, we are all familiar with PowerPoints. It is the main tool we use to make presentations. So just the steps in preparing the content, I'll just go through this section very quickly because many of us have been using PowerPoints and we are very conversant with how to go about with preparing presentations in PowerPoint. We have analyzed our audience. We have gathered the data and information. Now it is time for us to convert that data into an outline. You design your PowerPoints in Microsoft PowerPoint. The presentation structure, go outline, slide structure, fonts, color and background, bulletin numbers, graphs, proofreading. So keep a record, do it step by step. I'll just skip. I think I'm running over time. So the outline is your skeleton of your presentation. Outline. So make an outline. Decide what you want to. What will be your opening? What will be your body? What will be your conclusion? And how you are going to present it. Always, it is advisable to keep it simple as possible. Write in a point form. The layout should be consistent. Avoid any unnecessary graphics and sounds. If it is not required, just skip it. Use different fonts for the main point and the secondary points. Use standard fonts. Avoid italics. They are very difficult to read on screen. The colors, use high contrast to increase the legibility. Emphasize, if you want to emphasize on a certain point, you can occasionally color, but minimal use of colors. And don't use more than 4 colors if you are using colors. Make your backgrounds really simple and consistent throughout the presentation. Bullet numbers. If there is a list with a sequence, use numbers. If it is you just want to show a list, it can be bullet points. Then try to simplify the information, right? As finance professionals, at times we are given lots of data to present, and how to present it becomes a challenge for us. So try to simplify the information which you are presenting. From here, we come to here. We have simplified. Okay, we have the revenue graph, we have the gross profit, we have the EBITDA, we have the net income, right? Instead of struggling here and looking on the screen, it becomes more easier for us. Again, you can simplify it more. You can you can compare 2 variables. You can do a lot of stuff with your imagination. So the idea which I want to convey is to simplify it. Where you have loads of data to present, simplify it. Always put title to your charts and graphs and try to use trend lines. That is more of them, much better. Spelling and grammar proofs. Check your presentations, whether there are for any spelling mistakes, repeated words, grammatical errors, and let someone else check your presentation. Coming to the last part is the delivery part, how you deliver. I think Arvind will be taking you through how to deliver a good presentation. Speak loudly and clearly with voice modulation. And when you are in a physical meeting, have an eye contact with your audience. Keep your audience engaged. Avoid reading from the slides and just enhance your PowerPoint use the PowerPoint to just enhance your talk. Do I have 2 minutes? I'll just take 2 more minutes.
Yes, Tahira, please go ahead.
So as a conclusion, I just want you to strike off whatever 3 things you have written. Anything, if you think from now onwards you will not have that point, just strike it off. And your feedback will be very helpful to me in my presentation as well. These are some feedbacks which I received when I was doing a physical presentation. So normally people have written 3 of their points. First of all, for everybody has is fear of public speaking. And the confidence, right? The confidence, the fear, and what am I going to talk? So many of them were able to strike those off and were confident that, okay, from now onwards, I think I will be able to manage these things. I will be better to able to manage my fear. I will be better in managing my whatever information I have to communicate. I know what to communicate, how to communicate my presentation. So these are some examples which I've just put it up on my screen. I would really love to know if you were able to strike off any of the 3 things which you had written in the beginning of the presentation. With that, I come to my conclusion. And as Manu said, I will also reiterate that build your confidence. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So build your confidence and practice. That's the key thing in moving ahead. And thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Tahira. Now I request our committee secretary, Mr. G. Ranganathan, to please propose a vote of thanks to you.
Yeah, sure. Dear Tahira ji, the earlier speaker, CA Manu, he had made a passing reference that CAs do all the work, but the MBAs take it and do the presentation. Well, it's very true. But the session like this one, which you had taken, Tahira ji, this squarely addresses the matter. You have given several tips for making one's presentation effective, like understanding the purpose of presentation, whether it is only for a communication or presenting an idea or inspiring, motivation, and also keeping the audience in mind as to who they are, the hierarchical level, and all this will determine the content, structure, and delivery of the presentation. And the last part on elevator pitch was very interesting, very, very essential, particularly after lunch hour. Thank you so very much. Extraordinarily good session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tahira. We now move on to our last session of the day with C. Arvind Akshan. And Arvind Akshan is our member since beginning of 1999, and he also qualified as passed the examination of a CPA USA. Currently, he's working as a senior finance manager for a global company based in Dubai. He is an active member of ICAT Toastmasters Club, a club exclusively for Indian chartered accountants in Dubai, affiliated to Toastmasters International. And Toastmasters International, as many of you must be knowing, is a non-profitable organization based out of United States to educate its members and empowering them for communication and leadership. In 2018, Arvind Akshan achieved the highest recognition of Toastmasters, which is Distinguished Toastmasters, and very few of the members ever achieved that. Thank you so much, Arvind, for being here with us today and taking on the topic of public speaking, which I think is one of the top fears of most of our members. And many of our members initially, they do talk about communication, considering we do come from different backgrounds in India with our native language being different, and that comes up as a challenge. For me personally also, even though I studied in ICSE board school, but speaking in English was very little when I was in India. But when I came to Dubai, the things changed, considering I had to speak in an environment where the Hindi speaking people were very less, and that became a habit. And for me, in these sessions which have been going through, I have also shared my story where I used to have a doubt that I'm a born speaker, even though I was speaking very little in English. And that prompted me to join Toastmasters very late. 5 years of I had been in UAE when I got to know about Toastmasters in my first few days of living in UAE. And many times we are not able to recognize what we can learn. And I would like to emphasize on the fact that, this public speaking is a continuous thing. It never ends. Like, we continuously improve and become better. And I'm sure your session today, where many of our other chartered accountant friends have also joined, and you will be using them as a volunteer in your session, will be making a big difference to our members. So we have 54 minutes left, and really keenly looking forward to what you have there to offer to our members. And I request all our young members to please give a big virtual round of applause to you, Arvind, and I welcome Ajil, Ashit, Ravi, Ram, all who will be joining as your volunteers for the day. And over to you.
Good evening, everybody. I am so happy and excited with you today. I have great, deep gratitude to Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, our Honorable President, Nihar Jambasuriya, CA Nihar Jambasuriya, Committee for Members in the Industry and Business, its Honorable Secretary, Sri Ganganathan, our Regional Director of ICA Middle East and Africa, CA Prabdeep Singh, and ICA Dubai office for giving me this opportunity to speak on a topic I am very, very passionate about it. Thank you, CA Prabdeep Singh, for your very sweet and short introduction. I observed that you, as well as our previous speakers, applied the KISS principle. As you know, KISS is very sweet, lovely in our life. When it comes to public speaking, KISS has a different meaning. I request all of you to take a notebook and pen, write the meaning of KISS. Keep it very sweet and short. Keep it when you're in your conversation, in your public speaking, keep your message very sweet and short. My today's presentation, let me share. Before that, I am aware that I am addressing extremely elated, energetic, and enthusiastic chartered accountants. I wish all of you a long, successful professional journey. I know you are perfectly aware that in order to become successful in our profession, we not only have to be expert in the domain area we are in accounting, auditing, taxation, and so on, we also should be an effective communicator. Let me share my presentation. Dear Pravdeep, can you see the presentation?
Yes, Arvind.
Yes, we can see.
Yes. Now I request you to write the second point for success, professional success, is domain expertise for effective communications. Let us discuss the agenda of our session today. First 30 to 35 minutes, I will talk on how public speaking helps you achieve success. Next 10 to 15 minutes, there will be demo speeches from a trained public speakers who are all chartered accountants. And last 10 to 15 minutes, I will give evaluation of demo speeches and possibly I will try to answer the question and answers. Now let us start. In our daily life, we talk about movies, the Bollywood. We talk about sports, cricket. We talk about Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar, and all these leaders, all this activity, whether it is movies, songs, or sports, influencing us. We are discussing about it, and we are getting motivated from that. But we have to understand one thing. There are certain types of people, leaders, who are able to influence our destiny, fate, and future. They are creating law for us. Can you guess who are those people? The leaders, who are the chief ministers, member of parliament, prime minister, president. In the modern society, in a modern democratic society, where people can decide our leaders, do you know the most powerful weapon of a leader? It is public speaking. It has exponential power. In the YouTube, you can see so many videos of Barack Obama, the past president of US. I can see that people are so thrilled, excited, and following Barack Obama. And I'm not exaggerating to state that he became the president only with the power of public speaking. Of course, he has leadership skill, as Manu Nair already pointed out. Leadership skills is already there, but public speaking is a key component. Not only in politics, in all areas of all sections of life, whether it is bureaucracy, politics, judiciary, in common life, everywhere, public speaking has importance. It has tremendous power. Do you know what is the first public speaking of a human being? It is, we have to say it is at the time of we are getting birth. What a child do at the time of getting birth? Crying loud. What message that child gives to the world? I am alive. I am energetic. And I am ready to live in this universe. And there is an audience. Who are the audience? Mother who gave the birth. Father waiting outside the labor room and close relatives. Doctors, nurses. All these are audience. And child crying give a message and call for action. For mother to give milk. For doctors and nurses to take care on the medical side. For father to post it in the Facebook that, oh, I become a proud father. To celebrate the moment. How the child deliver the crying, closing the eyes, opening the mouth, a natural body language. It blossoms like a flower. It flows like a river, a natural being. The child has no nervousness, no shyness, no inhibition. It naturally evolves. See the sound of the child. It's like a musical note with a high pitch. If it is high pitch, that means the child is more energetic, more healthy. If it is low, maybe it's little area, child has to work. Volume, the sound also so important. Here comes the basics of public speaking. Please note it in your notebook that public speaking should have a message, should have a call for action, should have an audience, but body language should be natural. The vocal variety should be vivid. Here, from the child, from the human being, from the birth, we are already a public speaker. The first public speaking is crying. And this public speaking skill is not getting over when we grow in our life. Here I want to share one experience. In Dubai, a great mega world event is going on now, Expo 2020. More than 90 countries, 190 countries have the pavilion. India has a beautiful pavilion there. Each country is showcasing their wisdom, competitive advantage, tourism potential, and scientific invention there. India's investment is around $80 million, that is around 600 crores. If hundreds of countries invested so much, just imagine the volume of investment. A huge, mesmerizing city is developed in Dubai, exclusively for that, with an area of more than 1,000 acres of land. And entry to the expo is by ticket. Up to the age of 17, it is free. Last Saturday, I visited the expo with my family. While standing in the queue for the ticket, there are so many queues. In another queue, there was a family, one UK family, father, mother, and 2 children. The person in the ticket counter asked, "What is the age of your children?" The father told, the first one is 9, other one is 6. From that moment, one mesmerizing thing happened. The small one, the little one, spontaneously told, "No, I am not 7, I am not 6, I am 7. Everybody standing in the queue was laughing, and it directly connected to the full people there. And father has to tell to the younger one that, "Sorry, I am bad." We need this spontaneity. This spontaneity is not losing to us even when we grew up. Maybe at 7 or 8 years old. But after that, we slowly decrease in this spontaneity. We are becoming more mindful when we go through the teenage, adulthood, because of the social conditions, customs, practices, or some practices we told to ourselves, "I have to do this one. Maybe I am an auditor. If I laugh, that will be an indication to my client that I'll be compromised. I'm an accountant. I'm a finance manager. If I do something, if I laugh at the jokes, that will be indication to my colleagues in other department that they can go misuse the money." So that's why we keep always tight face, not smiling, not laughing, not enjoying, not laughing in the humor, not dancing when somebody asks to dance. So we become so rigid and stiffy in that professional nature. But here we have to understand one thing. We need not have to restrict ourselves. What we are blessed with our birth and we already have. We have to laugh, we have to dance, we have to spontaneous in our all the expression. Only one thing we have to do to be very strict professional, only thing we should develop the assertive communication. When we should say no, where we should know, said yes, these things we should know. Otherwise, we can enjoy the life as it is, as a newborn child, as well as the kid I already talked about. Thus, we have public speaking skill already. Now, what are the public speaking skill situation normally a chartered accountant has to face? It need not be a formal session, like there are podium, there are I have to speak on a subject. No, it is a day-to-day life situation. For example, job interview. The job interview, you are presenting yourself, you are showcasing yourself. As Manu Meyer told, you are publicizing yourself. And the interview board is getting impression about you. Normally, when I sit in the interview board, I ask a very simple question. Please introduce yourself. Maybe in the CV, some information will be there about their achievements. I will ask them to elaborate that. That will be another 5 minutes time interview. So we don't have much time spent for each candidate. So even in these 2 questions, people are finding difficult to answer. Here also, the competitive edge, who are able to share their information in a professional way, who are able to convince us that candidates getting the job. And if you are practicing your client meeting, discussing on the audit and taxation matters, maybe you have to, in our finance field, the changes happening every minute, new amendments, new accounting standards, and we have to brief the new law amendments to our colleagues and customers. As a technical expert, we often invited to present in a seminars or in a meeting of other professionals, and we have to represent client before the authorities. If you are practicing the forensic accounting, sometimes you have to be very, very forceful communicator. Your sound, your authenticity is so important there. If you are not able to prove your point, then you cannot be successful in the forensic accounting or any area tax practice you are arguing your client case. So public speaking principle to be applied in all the areas where we have to meet the people. And without meeting the people, we do not have a survival. When I started my profession, I faced so many failures in communication. All the situation I already told in job interview, in client meeting, when presenting the technical things to non-technical people, so many failures. When I came to Dubai, I started working in a company where more than 50 nationalities are working. Everybody will speak English, but people are from different accents, Arabic, French, Chinese, Thai language, Philippine, and so many accents. And even if they are speaking English, it is very difficult to understand, even if that is English.
It seems there's some issue. Arvind, Arvind, we had some, I think, issue of connection. So now I think it's fine. Yeah, in between we had for a few seconds. Yeah.
Okay, now it's okay, Pradeep. Can I continue?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes when I present the technical things, the accounts report to the people in other domain, by seeing this, my CEO asked, Arvind, please use your brain. They will not understand what you're speaking. I'm okay, at least. I'm okay for this kind of things because at least my CEO agrees that I have brain. My previous CEO boss did not agree even that. It is not because of my failure in the application of the technical things, accounting, auditing, all this technical knowledge, but only because of the failure in communication, failure in convincing other people. That thing actually made me to think. That was the defining moment in my life, professional life, because as a professional, having got the world's toughest accountancy qualification, having acquired the expertise on the domain in accounts, auditing, and taxation, I should not fail in my profession just because I am not able to communicate. I have to improve. I understand that from failure to success, the only bridge we have to build is the ability to give the public speaking, ability to communicate. I had to join a public speaking club. As you know, Dubai CA Institute is so active. It's the best overseas chapter with more than 3,000 members. They conduct events in almost every week. And from the CA Institute, I understood that there is a club for Indian Chartered Accountants. Indian Chartered Accountant Toastmaster Club, ICAT Toastmaster Club. I became a member of that club and started practicing the public speaking. Later I understood that the office bearers of the CA Institute, mainly coming from the ICAT Toastmaster Club, they nurture leaders in the ICAT Toastmaster Club. I also understood that not only in CA Institute, the members of ICAT Toastmaster Club are excelling in their profession. CA Prabdeep Singh, CA Manu Nair, all are part of ICAT Toastmaster Club. They are conducting seminars, they are opening new offices, they are having foreign collaboration, and in all area of social circles, social media, everywhere we can see their presence and success in profession. The only way, the only bridge they constructed between the CA qualification and success is they excelled in public speaking. After joining the Toastmaster Club, after some years I became president. And this is the profile of executive committee when I was the president. Here we can see Vice President Education, CA Ashit Dugar, who is speaking today for 2 minutes later. CA Ramakrishnan is also speaking. And current President, CA Ravi Avadhanam, also speaking. And we have another Toastmaster Club that is only a corporate club, the Manu Nair, where Manu Nair is the CEO, the speaker for the first session. Emirates Chartered Account Toastmaster Club. We have the president of that, past president of that club, C. Ajil Varghese. He is also speaking. Now let us go to some of the practical problems when you are in the public speaking. It is said that the number one fear of a person is public speaking. It is much more deadly and fearful than jumping from a top floor building to the down. Jumping out of the plane. It's so scary. How to manage that nervousness? The simple answer is that how we learn swimming. Jumping to the water and start swimming. There is no other go. Nervousness. What is the main reason? First, the lack of practice. But by continuously standing before the audience, we can remove this nervousness. Second thing, the big problem of nervousness happening when we are not preparing well. If you are preparing very well for a presentation, especially if it is for a 1 hour speech session, if you prepare the opening, the first one topic and the closing, you are confident. Because that is the moment you will become more nervous. After that, you will be very confident. So practice opening and the closing and first 1 or 2 points. Memorize it. After that, no need to memorize. Just flow like rhythm. So first tip for avoid nervousness, practice the public speaking and prepare for all the speech sessions. There are various types of speeches. To inform, informational speech, educational speech. Basically, CAs are asked to speak it to inform. When you are presenting a session on tax, on various other matters, it is speaking to inform. You are basically teaching on an area of your expertise. Other speech is to persuade others, to convince others to take an action. For example, you are addressing high-income group of high-income group who do not follow income tax law, who do not file income tax return. You are persuading them to file income tax return, pay tax, and become a law-abiding citizen. Now I remember our past president APJ Abdul Kalam told CAs are the partner in national building. Because why? Because CAs are helping to collect tax revenue for the government. That's why we are the partner in national building. So we have the lot of role in persuading others to pay taxes and comply law. Another type of speech is to entertain. We are a professional, of course, we are professional, but more than that, we are a human being. We need some form of amusement, excitement. In the social club, family functions, we can give the entertaining speech, humorous speech. As a chartered accountant, I had the feeling initially that, can I become a humorous speaker? Can I make others to laugh? But after joining the speaking club, I understood that, yes, I am able to do that. Do you know what is the best way to keep the other people laugh? Talk about yourself, your failures, all the mistakes, blunders happened in your life. Talk about that. When you talk about that, don't feel that you are going low. When you talk about your failure, don't think that other will think what other people think about us. No, they will not think anything about us. In fact, we become more confident. We become a leader. We are keeping our ego aside. we are become a true human being, because it is possible to have a mistake for a normal human being. So practice humorous speeches. It's a good exercise. It's a spiritual process. Another type of speech is to inspire the people for noble goals, to increase confidence, to give charity. C.A. Prabhudeep Singh told about charity. Inspire the people for that. And blood donation, that is to inspire the speech. Now we will talk a little bit about speech organization. What amazing speech should have. A speech should have an attention-catching opening. Like an attractive cover for a book, this opening should hook the audience. For example, I believe my talk on the kiss hooked the audience in the beginning. Then that is an attention-catching opening. Swami Vivekananda, in his Chicago address, 1893, more than 100 years back, talked to the American people by starting, "Sisters and brothers of America." The one sentence caught the attention of the entire world. Sisters and American, for the first time, they are hearing someone is talking to them, consider them as sister and brother, their own brother. What a lovely feeling it is. That message from India, attention-catching opening. Think about that. Your opening should have attention-catching opening, and it should be an introduction about your topic. And we have to work on the body of the speech. Body on the speech. It mainly consists of the main important points. Your speech entirely, keep paragraph of your speech. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it is half an hour speech, maybe maximum you can speak about 6 or 7 points. Main points, and with the sub points, maybe to substantiate that, to convince that there will be examples, fact, figures, experience to substantiate only that particular main point. After completing that main point, go to the next point systematically. Then audience will not confuse on what you are talking about. Whereas if you are mixing all points together, there will be a lot of confusion. At the end, people will not know what you are talking. So arrange your body as a main point, sub points, example, fact, figures, and your personal experience. And conclusion, that is very important. That is essentially summary of all the points already you talked, and re-emphasize your point. And that will be the take-home values for the audience. They will forget all other things you talked in the opening and body. They will mostly remember only the closing part. Make it more powerful and should be the essential summary of all points. Another big challenge in public speaking. Normally, people do not have confidence because of some reasons. Maybe the speaker is thinking that the audience is well aware of this topic, or they will see me like inferior, or so many things may come. Here I have one example to talk with you. When I was in high school, 8th standard, I was part of the NCC, the National Cadet Corps. It is an Indian Army's initiative to make better students. An army officer from Punjab, he looked like a past president of India, Kani Sel Singh, used to visit us, to train us. From him, I observed one thing, how to be a confident person. He taught me that. Stand very straight, shoulders back, hands both sides like this. Look at straight to the audience, to the people. Naturally, with this body positioning, you get the confidence automatically. If you are sitting, just stand up. Stand straight like this. Shoulders back, opening the chest. Have a deep breath. You will get the confidence. By body positioning gestures, we can manufacture confidence. Another thing, just believe in you. That means you can do it. If you can pass the world tough accounts exam and become a chartered accountant, you can do it. Just have a utmost faith and belief in you. Just like the army people fighting in the battle. The more confident military man win the battle. It is not the gunpowder or the power of the arms. It is the power of the confidence that mostly win in the war. So have the confidence and have a deep belief in you. Another thing is that when you talk into someone, keep the eye contact. Have you seen the girlfriends and boyfriends in some park? What they do normally? I've seen in Bangalore, Lalbagh Park, they are looking each other to the eyes. Why they are looking to the eyes? Because eye contact transmits emotion. It is an enabler for gaining trust. When you are speaking to someone, he is looking at your face. You trust that person. You believe that person. If a person talking to you without looking at you and looking somewhere else, you may naturally conclude that that person has something to hide. So it is a sign of confidence and it is a sign of your authenticity and knowledge. Keep eye contact when you're speaking to. Practice all that. I believe all of you are noting all my points. I think my time is getting, I have to finish another 5 minutes for the next session. When you speak, please mindful about your language. You are talking to non-technical people. Avoid all the jargons we use in the finance area. Use the simple words and easy words. You may have rich vocabulary and resource of tough words. Don't use this public speaking place as a place to practice all that. Here we have to use very simple words. Be specific when you are talking. If you are saying, I had some cash in my pocket, what is that some cash? For Ambani, it may be 1 crore, some cash. For a poor person, it may be 1 rupees. But you have to specify, I had rupees 100 in my pocket. Be specific in your sentences. Third one, use vivid words, colorful words. Like, I told in the beginning, Expo is larger than the smallest country on the earth, the Vatican City. It's a vivid word. If you are saying your proposal will bring result of 1 crore, the project proposal, you can say like that. If we implement this proposal, it will result in 1 crore more profit. That is enough to pay 2 months employee salary. Make vivid imaginary. Add rhetorical devices. Simile to compare something. I told about an army officer, look like past President Gani Singh. It is look like, simile, metaphor. We can say, if we are comparing, not comparing, just to say that it is. For example, black money is the cancer to our country, cancer to our economy. We are just using a metaphor, cancer, to talk about the complications of black money. Use alliterations with the simple words that have the same sound. For example, in the beginning when I talked about kiss, sweet and short, that ends with the sound T. That add beauty to your speeches. Add triads. What is triads? It's a cluster of 3 words that add a dramatic power for the speech. For example, when I started talking to you, I told you as energetic, enthusiastic, and elite Toastmasters. 3, the triads, cluster of 3 words. When I told about the child in the beginning, natural body language, the facial expression should be natural, should be very natural about the topic you are talking. It should reflect. For example, if you are talking about very big tragedy in your life, and if you keep smiling like this, what message it gives to the audience? When you're talking about tragedy, there should be pain, there should be worry, tension in your face. That's the most appropriate language. For all these situations, depends on speaking situation, make appropriate body language. With your hands, with your stand, confident stance. Walking, to make some points you may have to move. In this online platform, that is not possible, but in a real platform, physical platform, we can move one place to another to make a point. Not unnecessary movement, no need to continuously walking, that will divert the attention. Facial expression, I told about, depends on the situation, you make appropriate expression, make it very, very natural, like the child I told in the beginning. Another important factor, voice. Your voice is the bridge between you and the audience. Why you like a music, a song? Because it has high pitch and low pitch, and it is so melodious that you want to hear it. Same way, your sentence should be with the high pitch, with the low. When you are talking about excitement, raise the sound. When you are talking about something sad incident, reduce the sound. Or you are making some important statement, make it strong. Everybody has a very sweet voice, very powerful voice. I will give one tip how to enhance your voice quality. Have breathing exercise every day. The pranayama. Fill your lungs with air, diaphragm. Let the sound come from your lower chest. When the sound comes from the lower chest, your sound will be more authentic. Nobody can deny you. Make the sound very natural, pleasant. When you are arguing a case or debating something, make it very forceful, very expressive sound, so that from the beginning till the end, audience are hooked to you because they are hearing a music. Even though it is public speaking, it is actually a music. Every sentence is a musical note because it's all coming from. It is all the air that make the sound, whether in music or in public speaking. So give importance for the breathing exercise and practice making sound from the lower chest and make it more authentic. Last tip I have is that practice, practice, practice. When I joined Toastmaster Club 9 years back, even now I don't believe I become expert in it. I continuously practice it. And it is a lifelong journey process. So put your investment, your time for improving communication on a daily basis. With this, now we go to the next segment of this session. In this session, whatever principles I taught so far will be applied. We will have demonstration now. For chartered accountants who are part of Toastmasters Club, will be delivering speeches. This is a 2-minute speech. You can see the practical application of the principle I already covered. The first chartered accountant who is going to speak is Mr. Ramakrishnan Subramanian. Mr. Ramakrishnan Subramanian is the past president of ICAT Toastmaster Club. Over to you, Ramakrishnan.
Thank you, CA Arvind Akshan, for a wonderful introduction. Good evening, my dear friends. Do you agree killing living being is a violence? Do you agree animals has a right to live in this planet? Do you agree human can survive without killing the animals? Then who has given the human rights to kill the animals? We are just 7.9 billion population in this world. In a year, we are killing 77 billion animals. 10 times of our population. This is not a violence. You know one fact, the intestine of meat-eating animal is different from plant-eating animal. And human intestine is similar to the plant-eating animal. And our canine is not grown up. The meat-eating animal canine is longer than the plant-eating animal. And you one more fact, elephant is stronger than the king of the jungle, lion. But never ever elephant killed any animal for the food. All the animals just follow the nature. Though we evolve, we are going against the nature. Did you got any chance to look into the eyes of the chicken, rabbit, or goat? They're so innocent. Why? How we can kill such innocent animals and eat their dead bodies? Not only that, we are limiting their freedom in the name of wildlife. and killing the small babies in the name of animal farming and torturing the animals in laboratories for biological testing. This is atrocious. Please, my dear friends, wake up and just allow the animals to live in this planet. Thank you for listening to my words. Over to you.
What a powerful speech. We got a flavor of a powerful speech, a short speech. This is the speech. This is the kind of speech we have to practice on a very important topic. When he was talking, we could see that he is actually fully into the topic. His entire body was ready to give the message. So natural body language. Very important topic. Very powerful language. Thank you, C.A. Ramakrishnan. And let us go to our next speaker, T.A. Ravi Avadhanam, the president of ICAT Toastmaster Club. Over to you, sir.
I know that I did not do the right thing by flipping that plastic bottle away. But tell me one thing. How many of us see on a regular basis this simple piece of plastic being thrown away negligently? Very few of us understand what happens to that plastic once it's thrown. There have been whales and other marine animals that have washed up to the shores. Fishermen have cut them open, find kilograms of plastic cups, bottle caps, rubber shoes, so many things. These innocent animals living in the depths of ocean have ingested the plastic that serves a very little purpose for us. We can think possibly that this plastic menace is only in highly populated areas. Let me tell you a story about an island called Midland Islands. Equidistant from the west coast of America and Japan, right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Just 6 square kilometers in size. Average inhabitants, 40 people. Do you now imagine a beautiful island? All by itself where you can live quietly? Yes, there lives a beautiful creature called the albatross. These birds come to that island every year in thousands to breed and go back into the ocean. An American photographer, a filmmaker, traveled to this island to do a documentary on these birds, and he found something very shocking. He found dead birds, and inside the decomposing body of the bird, plastic. Can you imagine that in this island that's so far away separated from the mainlands, there is so much plastic? Now imagine this plastic is ingested by fish. It decomposes in our soil, enters fish, enters plant, ends up on our dinner tables and our bloodstreams. Simple thing that just serves about less than half my water need for one day. What do we do? Yes, there's a lot you can do, but there's something that you can do at home. Please remember the 3 R's. Reduce by doing this. Carry your own bottle. When you have a gathering, tell your audience, tell your guests, BYOB. Bring your own bottle. Encourage your family to carry their own bottle. Reuse. You get those plastic bags in the supermarket, use them as much as you can. And finally, recycle. Take the extra care from home to go somewhere, dispose your plastic carefully into recycling. Walk that extra mile every week to dispose of this plastic. The earth, this lovely planet, is a great gift and our responsibility. Thank you very much. Over to you, CA Arvind.
Thank you, CA Ravi Avadhanam. His mesmerizing speech. You talked about very important topic that affect the very survival of human being and life in the earth, the plastic bottles. When you talk, I could feel that you are filled with emotions and love for the humanity. It is not just an act, because you have that authenticity. You have the care for the people. I could see the language beauty also. The triads, reuse, reduce and recycle is a beautiful way of triads. And I also like the way you describe the beautiful island, Midland, and you are actually picturizing with your small speech. What a fantastic presentation. Thank you, Ravi Avadhanam, for demonstrating the speech by incorporating whatever principle I already covered. Now, let us move to our next speaker, P.A. Ajil Varghese. He is the past president of Emirates Chartered Accountants Toastmaster Club. I is working as a tax manager of Emirates Chartered Accountants Group. He is a colleague of CA Manu. Over to you, Ajil Varghese.
Thank you, Mr. Arvind. We are building a new reality for the people, a new future for our own children, and a new model of development. These are the words of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. Why? UAE is considered as an emerging place for the global business. The answer is very simple. The vision of the leadership. What else can make a desert region into a cosmopolitan metropolis? To understand the importance of leadership, we should know about the history of the country in three phases. Firstly, the era before oil, when the nation depends on the natural resources like agriculture, fish, and pearls, where there was not much revenue at that time. The leaders with their great vision searched for opportunities. They looked for new opportunities and landed in oil fields, which changed the face of the country. The era after oil being identified, the nation has developed without limits in all aspects: business, infrastructure, technology, and what more. It made UAE as the second home for all of us. And now, even when the oil prices are dropping, we can see UAE is continuing with its development, its improvement, and opening opportunities to the future. Why? Because of the leadership of the nation. The great vision with which they are pulling us, they are taking us to the future, the 50 years plan which they have is to have community living inside the space in the Mars. We need to compare the UAE's growth only through the statement which the ruler of Dubai had given. In the race of excellence, there is no finish line. It is the competition between the excellence of UAE with its own excellence which makes the country always outstanding and providing enormous opportunities to the businesses outside, the professionals outside, and all people to come to UAE and join together for a better humanity. So why we all are looking for, let's all grab the opportunity which the UAE opens to the world and be successful and share the happiness to the humanity. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Arvind.
Thank you, CA Ajil Varghese. What a fantastic speech in terms of delivery and information and the beauty of the language. You had attention-catching opening with a quote of the ruler of Dubai, and you had so much beautiful quotations in the race of excellence. There is no finishing line, and you talked a lot about the positive aspects of the opportunities in Dubai. It is a speaking to informed speech. It will be beneficial for the audience who are looking to opportunities in the Middle East. Thank you, CA Ajil Varghese. Thank you. Now let us move to our next speaker, the most energetic past president of ICAT Toastmaster Club, the speaking club of Indian Chartered Accountants in Dubai, CA Ashit Dugar.
Thank you, Toastmaster introduction. The human brain starts working the moment a person is born and never stops until the person stands up to speak in public. I'm sure many of you would relate to this statement. What is this state of mind called? Yes, fear of public speaking or stage fright. There are many phobias. We have heard of phobias like hemophobia, phobia of blood, aerophobia, the fear of flying. But do you know that the fear of public speaking is also a phobia? Glossophobia. Glosso means tongue and phobia is fear. So glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. Glossophobia or stage fright is remarkably common. In fact, you will be surprised to know that experts believe that more than 77% of the world population suffers from some form of speech anxiety. So, if you feel that you are having stage fright, don't be shy. You are not alone. You never know, your best friend who topped the CA exams can also be suffering from glossophobia. Now, how do we overcome glossophobia? There's very simple 3 questions that we need to answer. Is anyone afraid of eating food or walking? I don't think so. Is someone afraid of driving a car or riding a bike? I think so, a few of them. And is someone afraid of public speaking? Most of us. So the answer is very simple. The things that we do regularly, we are used to it. We don't fear them. But things that we don't do often is what makes us anxious. So the young chartered accountants, we have classes for accounts, we have classes for tax, we have classes for costing. Is there any classes for public speaking? How many times have we spoken in public during our CA course? I don't think so. And that is very natural to have stage fright. Now, if you want to overcome this stage fright, we need to first answer these 3 questions once again. We need to ask these questions very genuinely to us and answer. First question, do I have stage fear? Do I have fear of public speaking? Second question, is this fear of public speaking impacting my personal or my professional life? And the third and the most important question is that do I think this is a problem? And do I want to overcome this problem? If the answer to all these 3 questions is yes and an absolute yes, then definitely we need practice. We need coaching. And that is where a forum like Toastmasters comes to our help. Toastmasters is the only organization which helps a person to improve and hone his public speaking skills from end to end. Now friends, imagine a warrior going into a battle with just a piece of iron. He can't win a battle with a piece of iron. But imagine if he is having a strong sword made of that iron, he can go and fight strongly in a battle. So friends, remember, whenever you are faced with a fear of public speaking, ask yourself, what is fear? And to me and to all of us, fear should be nothing more than You should tell yourself that to me, fear is face everything and rise. Over to you, Toastmaster Arvind.
Thank you, C. Ashidugar. What an effective conclusion for our session. We all, throughout our session, we spoke about public speaking, and you talk about how to manage the fear of public speaking. Very effective speech, very normal, natural body language, and all throughout your speech, there is an intention, there is a feeling inside it to add value to the audience. That is the most important thing. With this, we are going to the conclusion of our session. Conclusion, as I told about the baby at the beginning, the newborn baby, the basics of public speaking, you have to give a valuable message to the world that I am alive, I am energetic, I am able to give value to the people, to the mom, to the father, and I have to naturally express my body language, and my language, my voice should be so pleasant. It should be a music to the people. And when you're making presentation or conversation or into the public speaking, please do not forget the principle, the first principle, KISS. The KISS principle. Keep your message very short and sweet. With this, I conclude. Over to CA Prabdeep Singh.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Arvind. Thank you for the wonderful session to you and to all our volunteers. I now request Mr. Ranganathan to please propose a formal vote of thanks for the session.
Well, it's a pleasure. I would say, sir, that it was a very wonderful session and very, very powerful session. C. Arvindakshan. In fact, as you rightly said, KISS was your elevator pitch. Keep it short and sweet. You covered various situations of public speaking. You explained about how to construct a speech, the opening part, body, the concluding remarks, which you actually practically applied. Use of simile, metaphor, alliterations, traits, very, very useful tips. You also covered body language, gestures and voice modulation. And last but not the least, sir, we have to thank, million thanks to all the 4 volunteers for making such a powerful speech on varied subjects and all creating a lot of impact. C.A. Ramakrishnan, he spoke about vegetarianism. C.A. Ravi, he talked about plastic manners, and C.A. Ajil, he talked of visionary leadership of UAE, and C.A. Ashit Dugar spoke about stage fright. Very wonderful, sir. It was a complete package today. All batsmen scored centuries. Thank you so very much, sir. Perfect day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ranganathan. Thank you to all my fellow chartered accountant friends. Please remember that tomorrow we have 3 varied sessions, including entrepreneurship opportunities and development in accounting standards, considering the changing face of financial reporting. So please be here with us tomorrow. We look forward to have you. Stay safe. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.